If there's one thing every web developer has struggled with at least once, is centering a div. What should be simple can quickly turn into frustrating game of trial and error. But today I am going to break down 3 clean reliable methods to centering a div. Whether you are aligning a text, images or entire components. Let's dive in. First up, flexbox. This is a go-to method for most developers today because it's flexible, of course, intuitive and works for both horizontal and vertical centering. To achieve this, we are going to first target our parent element, which is the body for me. Could be another div for you, but it should be the parent element. First up, we are going to change the display of the body element to flex. Alright. Second thing we are going to do is justify content center, and lastly we are going to align the items to center. Alright, let's save this and preview the code. Voila, we have our first centered div. Just like this, your content is perfectly centered. No hacks, no guessworks, just clean maintainable CSS. If you are working on a modern project, this should be your first choice. Alright, now let's move ahead with the second method. I will just delete the previous code and we have our div not centered again. If you need more control over your layout, say for complex grids, CSS Grid is an excellent option. It's just as powerful as Flexbox but shines in two-dimensional layout. To use grid in centering div, let's just make the display layout of the parent element to grid, and lastly we are going to place the items. Let's place the items, not the content. Place items to center. Alright, we have the same div centered by using the grid method. Alright, the beauty here is in the simplicity. Place item center handles everything in one line. If you are already using grid in your layouts, this is the most elegant way to center a div. Now let's talk about the old school way, because sometimes you need compatibility or flexibility. Alright, to achieve this we are going to make the display of our body to relative, and we are going to edit the child element this time and make its position to absolute. Alright, next we are going to give it a margin from top of 50%, from left 50%, and then lastly, this is the main thing, we are going to transform and translate -50 and then +50. Alright, there we have all the setup done and the same result again. This method has been around forever and for good reason. It works reliably even in older browsers. The trick is using transform to adjust for elements' own dimensions. It's not as sleek as Flexbox or Grid, but it gets the job done. So, when should you use each method? Here's the breakdown. Flexbox, best for simple one-dimension centering. Works for rows or columns. CSS Grid, ideal for complex layout where you need full control. And lastly, margin and transform, fallback for older projects or when you need maximum compatibility. If you're starting a new project, default to Flexbox or Grid. They are cleaner and more maintainable. Save the classic method for special cases. And there you have it, 3 foolproof ways of centering a div in CSS. No more guessing, no more frustration, just clean, efficient layouts. Which method do you prefer? Flexbox for simplicity, Grid for its power, or do you still rely on classic approach? Let me know in the comments. If you found this helpful, give this video a like and consider subscribing for more web development tips. Thank you for watching and happy coding.